The Racing Realms. The Racing Realms were designed by the AcceleRacers to test a driver's specific racing skills. What I love about the Racing Realms is that if you don't have those specific skills, there are immediate consequences. Now without further ado, let's get into it. The Storm Realm was filled with lightning, thunder, and a world of electricity. It tested a driver's ability to focus and avoid distraction. How can this be applied to real world? Well, maintaining focus and avoiding distractions is the fundamental skill for any sport. Focus allows you to make well-informed decisions for when you race, which means avoiding distractions. These distractions can come in the form of phones or other drivers and obstacles. It is also your legal responsibility to avoid distractions while driving anyway, so it's basically common sense. This is an example of not staying focused while driving. What are the consequences of not having this skill? Well, you crash and you can potentially die. Next we have the Swamp Realm. The Swamp Realm is filled with flora and fauna such as mosquitoes, giant apes, and giant worms. The main skill tested in this realm is the ability of a driver to drive the racing line with the most grip. This can be considered following the groove. How does this apply to real world driving? Following the line with the most grip increases traction, which increases speed. This is because there is more surface area for your wheels to make contact with the road, which pushes your cars further. In real-world racing, following the groove is used for increasing speed. Another aspect of this is staying in the shortest line, which decreases the distance needed to be travelled. On the freeway, there are rough patches on the edges of the road, which can slow down your car and wake you up. By staying in your line, you avoid slowing yourself down, and I'll actually let the pros explain this.
In general, the fastest racing line is the straightest line, basically. Now every corner has its own characteristic and own optimal line based on whatever car you're driving, but for the most part you want to be going as straight as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the fast way is just to join the dots. It's like when you were a kid and you have those puzzles, you need to join the dots. That's what you need to do to start. A lot of people go out there and try to drive too fast too quickly. Miss turning points, miss apexes, untidy exits. Precision is the most important thing to start with when you're a rookie.
Most of the drivers failed to master this skill, which led to most of them getting caught. The Cavern Realm is a cave shadowed in darkness with boulders and bats. It tests an individual's ability to drive in the dark. This can be applied in real world as driving at night. You have to be extra cautious to know where you are going, as well as have a good sense of sight and positioning of your car. Failure to have these skills can easily cause you to fall off a track or crash your car. Now, because Shirako couldn't see what was happening behind him, it led to his music bringing down the spikes, causing more troubles for our drivers. The Lava Realm is full of magma and heat. The skill of this realm is to manage your car wheels properly. This is similar to how drivers need to make pit stops and such, in which they decide when to change wheels and such, so their car can operate at maximum efficiency. A precise decision needs to be made to either have a pit stop to maximize efficiency, or to keep driving and not to lose time and potentially have a crash. Although I can't find any real world examples, Cars shows how important tire management can be. Because Taro didn't account for this, he almost lost his car and his life, and Vert's wheels were also struggling on the track. The Water Realm tests your ability to drive on water by avoiding hydroplaning and spinning out. On an equivalent scale, this can apply to when part of the road floods, or a minor scale where there are puddles on the road. This usually entails watching your speed and watching your turns. Because Vert failed to account for this, he obviously crashed. The Metro Realm has an urban setting with the emphasis of mastering cornering and driving through traffic. A driver must remember that balance increases traction. By having the skill of driving through traffic, you can get to your location quicker than your competitors. I don't really need to explain this realm more, as it's a one-to-one skill of the real world. However, there are differing consequences. This includes those giant trucks potentially ramming you down if you don't have the skill. The Cliffside Realm is mainly about mastering the art of drifting, taking turns without losing speed. Drifting is a way to manipulate the lack of grip the tyres have with the road to navigate turns in a way that is easier to handle when the limit of the tyre grip has been reached. For most, that is faster because you are maintaining a faster speed without braking and with less friction throughout the turn.
Tight corners. The reason a tight turn gives an advantage to drifting is because cars have a very hard time negotiating turns near their turning radius. Drifting through a hairpin corner can often rotate the car faster and point the car out of the turn sooner, enabling the driver to accelerate sooner and inevitably exit the corner faster.
It is also a showcase of your ability to control your car, therefore showing skill, like in Tokyo Drift and in many other instances. Failure to have proper drifting skills can obviously lead to your car going off the cliffside. The ice realm, from seeing the shots, some of the track is made from ice. Presumably this realm skill is driving on ice. Now not much needs to be said about this realm because it's literally elemental to the real world as well. It is similar to the water realm in how you manage your speed and correcting your turns like in the water realm, as you can lose control of your car and spin out. The pipeline realm features a track in pipes. The main skill for this realm is presumably drafting. Drafting with another car increases both of your speeds as it improves the aerodynamics of both of your cars. This means less wind resistance and increased speed. Drafting can be used to gain speed and overtake the front car in real races. By having a failure, the lack of skill of drafting, you can be left behind and be stuck in the realm forever. The junk realm is full of junk. It's a racing realm that emphasizes the skill of hitting the apex. This is similar to drifting and following the groove, as you have to take the correct line while also maintaining speed and decreasing the distance, which increases speed. This is used by most motorsport drivers to decrease the distance and increase lap time efficiency.
You can see from the results, the racing line is much faster than the other two routes. It allows you to carry more speed into the corner, maintain a higher speed throughout, and exit at a higher velocity.
But why is that? It's simple. The larger the radius, the more speed can be carried through the corner.
Failure to have the skill will obviously lead to your car being hit by the wrecking balls, and you could potentially get stuck in the realm or die. The Ruins realm is probably one of the least skillful realms. I literally have zero clue what the skill for this realm is, but it has an old temple atmosphere. Now personally, presumably the skill for this realm is navigation, since most of the track looks relatively the same. Navigation is obviously important in races, as you need to know where you're going on the track, as well as with any driving obviously. This is somewhat similar to the motorsport where you have a guide and with real drivers. The cosmic realm is, as you guessed it, the realm in space. There are meteors and even a black hole. The realm is designed to test the driver's skill in high speed control, since the low gravity environment requires the driver to produce as much downforce as possible to avoid floating off the track. Downforce is incredibly important in race cars, and too little can overturn and cause your car to tumble. This is mainly used in Formula 1 cars since they are at such high speeds. Also, failure to have this skill in the realm will lead you being sucked by the black hole or potentially be killed by meteors. In conclusion, too much of one skill can impede other skills. You need to follow the groove in order to have the necessary progression to hit the apex, if that makes sense. But anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching.